Hey everybody, today we're going to talk to you about our Nomadic kitchen and how do we make corned beef hash. One way to do it is just buy it in a can. The other way to do it is to boil real corned beef, potatoes and cabbage maybe for dinner, and the leftovers chop up the potatoes and onions and corned beef. But in a nomadic lifestyle, in a van especially, that's just not possible. So where is the compromise? And our compromise is by using just 3 ingredients. Okay, so let's get going with that and we'll show you how to do it. All right, so we are ready to cook, and it's pretty simple. Like I said, this whole process doesn't take very long. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in the pan, and I'm going to saute the onions first that I had diced. And let me get this started. Oh, by the way, if you guys are still using propane or butane lighters, man, this is the cat's meow. This is really great. I think it was 12 or 14 bucks. I'll put the description down below. But it's a rechargeable by a USB port lighter, and it's electronic. It lasts for a long time without a charge. And I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to get it close. There's a little blue electro connection there, and it's just a great way. It lights things up 100% without running out of butane. So definitely check one of these out. Okay, so I've diced up the onions and I've got those on. And the next thing I'm going to do after I dice up the onions is that I am going to pour in the hash browns that I have gotten. They're the Hungry Jack ones. And by the way, if you talk about the expense to this, the can of corned beef runs you about $4.50 a can versus a can of hash, which is all pre-prepared. But you get about half of it, and these are, I don't know, what are they, $1.50 each? I'm not sure. So really you've got about $6 into this whole thing compared to about, you could say $5, because this is going to serve 2 people 2 meals, so that would be 4 meals. So really you're talking about less than $1, $1.25 for each meal. Very affordable. So anyway, once you get the onions starting to go, I just take the hash browns that I've already hydrated with water. It takes about 6 or 7 minutes to hydrate the hash browns, not very long at all. And what we do is we get the hash browns not quite brown, but you want to get some of that moisture out a little bit. And so we'll come back in just a couple minutes with this. And while you do this, I actually like to put the onions on the bottom, and then as they start to soften and sweat a little bit, that onion flavor goes into the potatoes, which actually I have on top. After a couple minutes, I kind of mix them up. Now at this point, pretty simple. I just move all of that over to one side, and I add the corned beef. Guess I should do it that way so you can see. And you know what I do with this corned beef? Well, I bet Jackson knows what we're going to do with it. So I'm going to give that over to the old Jackson dog. Let him clean that dish. So here what I'm going to do is just break up the hash browns. I'm sorry, break up the hash. Now as this heats up, the fat in the hash, and the corn, I keep calling it hash, the fat in the corned beef will start to warm up. Now while it's doing that, it's really interesting, these cans. These cans still use the original, going back to the mid-1800s, a way of opening cans. And if you notice, you may ask yourself, well, why are these cans kind of I don't know, would that be a pentagon? I don't know what kind of shape it is, but some kind of a shape. Anyway, they're small at the bottom and large at the top, and then they have this key that turns around to open the can. Now the whole reason for that is by making a hole on the small side of the bottom of the can, and then using the key. These are very easy to get the corned beef or the potted meat out of the can, because originally a lot of people liked to slice the corned beef up for sandwiches or whatever, and you don't, if it's difficult to get out of the can, you're going to have to just kind of chop it all up. So that's why. And then the idea of the key is that there's no lip or anything like on the, you know, the modern can openers to kind of stop it from, you know, popping out. So that's why they still use this key that kind of peels the metal off from the can. So there you go. Okay, so I'm just going to start mixing this all up now. And between the onions and the heating up of the hash, or the corned beef mixed with the potatoes, you're going to see we're going to have a ton of hash. Now, people put different things in here. If you prefer to put thyme or, God forbid, rosemary, but if you put rosemary in it, like I said, sometimes we like to put jalapenos in here, serranos. Maybe you could put up some diced up chives. That would actually sound pretty good to me. But just basically like this. This is all you have to do. And as you can see, that's easily, conservatively, twice as much that you get in a can of hash from the store for $2.50. So you're really looking at probably $1 more for this recipe, but it's a lot better. I mean, it's not this mushy junk. It's a lot fresher. And what we do, and if you have a cooler or a refrigerator, if you're a single person, that's okay. You make one of these just like this. You have your breakfast with a third of it or a quarter of it, with an egg on top, or however you cook the eggs. And then you let it cool down, bag it, and put it in the refrigerator, and you've got still 2 or 3 more breakfasts ready to go. So economically, it's a pretty good way to go. It's got a good long shelf life too. Okay guys, such an easy breakfast to do. This can sit on your shelf in the van somewhere for weeks or months. I mean, it's just a can of meat product and then a couple eggs. It's pretty easy, and some dried hash browns. So a couple eggs and some hash. It should be good. Very, very good. Oh, and I forgot to say, you can pepper this. So you don't want to add salt, because corned beef is very, very salty. So bon appetit, and enjoy your coffee. And if you make this breakfast at home, why don't you tell us if you have a different recipe or a way that you prefer to do it. I grew up as a kid eating this, and I just absolutely love it. So hope you liked it. Go ahead and share the video. Very important. We're trying to build our channel. Thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers. You guys pitch in a couple bucks a month or whatever you can afford. And it really, really helps us keep on the road and spend the time making these videos for you guys. Okay, so again, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and we'll see you guys down the road.